All right. Good evening, everybody. Current time is 8:14 p.m. Eastern. Give me an audio check. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. Let me know in the chat. Once I get the green light, we'll go ahead and dive right on in to what is occurring here in West Michigan. Got Summer in chat, Albert, Kendra. It's been a while. Yes. Yep. Got Michelle in here, Julie. What is up, guys? Bryce says, yep. Mezzo says, hello. Let's go ahead and dive in here once I get the... All good. Perfect. All right, cool. Super quiet. You're very low. All right, let me bump this up. All right, I bumped myself up there. All right, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. You guys should be able to hear me now. Test 1, 2. Hold on. Let's try that. I switched microphones because for some reason that was not working. That should be better though. I got a much better feedback on this one. So let's go ahead and dive in. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for portions of Ottawa County. This is going to include places like Zeeland, Hudsonville, Allendale, Grand Valley, Coopersville. This is going to be a warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is the only hazard. As you can see here on your screen currently is the velocity, your winds. We can see two distinct areas of severe or likely severe winds here. First one is located just south of 196 heading up toward Hudsonville. And the second currently is not warned heading into Dorr. They have two areas here. And honestly, the one down here by Dorr seems a little bit more impressive here, to me at least. So take our inspector tool out. We're going to see upwards of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds here heading up into the Dorr area. That has no warning on it currently, but do keep in mind that is potential. You guys may see some very strong winds, if not likely severe winds. In fact, the latest scan here does increase that just a bit here as that moves into Dorr. Up here, up by the Hudsonville area, we're getting returns of 45 to about 50 miles per hour here, and that is moving up in toward the eastern Ottawa County area. So as we move over here, animate this, we're going to go ahead and let it run through its loop here. Current track of this is pretty much due north, a little bit more so northeastward. On your screen, the bottom left is the Holland camera. You can see the flag there getting rocked by some winds. It was very strong about 5 to 10 minutes ago. It's just completely stayed pretty steady in terms of its strength across the Holland area. And that looks to be continuing up into the Zeeland and now Hudsonville areas. So taking a peek back here, two distinct areas of strong, if not severe wind. Again, heading into Hudsonville. And the second area, not currently warned, heading into the Dorr area, going to follow very closely on the west side of US 131 up toward Kentwood and Gaines area. Looking at the Consumers Energy outage map, we have several outages all across Allegan County that have now extended up into Ottawa County. We have a pretty big area near Fenville, west side of Allegan, got a couple areas out there near Hopkins, up by the Hamilton area as well, just scattered all throughout Allegan County with this particular line. So with that said, my focus is shifting over here toward Dorr, and there we go. That is much needed here. New warning incoming. I have to assume for this area near the Dorr area. There we go. New warning incoming. 60-mile-per-hour winds is the hazard with that. No hail, no tornado risk with these storms. It is simply just wind. We could see some small hail, but there is no large hail threat with this cell. So new warning now going to be for Dorr, Gaines, Kentwood, and Wyoming areas. Includes very far northern Allegan County and southwestern Kent County. That warning is now going to be in effect for 27 minutes. That will expire at 8:45. I am working solo tonight, so bear with me here. I gotta post some graphics on the page as these warnings come in. So that is what I'm doing right now. Because I know not everybody's going to tune into the stream. We have close to 500,000 followers, so we only have about, we're at about 2,000 or so in here right now. So quite a few of you guys aren't watching, so we got to make sure everybody's taken care of here. And that's going to be with posts on the page with new incoming warnings. So 2 warnings now in effect: Eastern Ottawa, Southwestern Kent, and Northeastern Allegan County. Go ahead and switch this back over here to the radar product. You can see the evolution of these storms as they progress to the northeast. Checking out our sky cams here. In the bottom left of your screen was the Holland camera, courtesy of Busher Septic Tank and Excavating. That was in just to the east side of Holland. Now it's just raining very heavily with some strong winds there. Looks like it's calmed down from what it was earlier, which is good news. But the bulk of this is now moving up in toward Robinson, Hudsonville, along the M45 area, and then up toward here into Dorr, about to enter into Byron Center and North Dorr areas. Yeah, movement on this is to the northeast, mostly north with a slight deviation to the east at roughly 30 to 40 miles per hour. The text of the warning says moving north at 25. So there you go. 25 miles per hour is your movement to the north. And the other one up here in Ottawa says north at 35. So right around that 30 or so mile per hour range, give or take a few miles per hour, should be expected with the movement here. And most of this is to the due north. Zooming out here, going further south, we have some showers across southwest Michigan here towards South Bend, Benton Harbor, South Haven, again in Kalamazoo. Those are not currently strong or severe in nature, just these 2 storms here that are warned at the current moment. Is the storm heading toward Brighton? No, there is nothing currently on the east side of the state. You guys are all clear. Heading further north here, for you guys watching up there in northern lower, again, all clear. Got a storm by the East Ludington area. Otherwise, all clear up there. And then in the UP, we got some showers over here by, we'll say, Manistee, Newberry areas along US 2. Otherwise, all clear up there. Only 2 areas of concern in the state, Kent and Ottawa County, as well as Northern Allegan County as well. Thank you, Brittany, for that super sticker. Appreciate your support. Welcome back, Cindy, for month number 15 here. I'm missing a lot of you guys. I apologize. Working solo, it's hard to keep up with everything. So if you've donated or if you've come back for another memberships and stuff like that, we appreciate you guys doing so and supporting the page. This is going to be continuing the warning here. The looks like the worst of it is located just to the west and north of Dorr. If you live in Dorr directly, looks like the worst of the winds passed either directly over the downtown area or just to the west. They're heading up now into North Dorr and the Ross and Corinth area, as well as Byron Center. The other storm that got prompted the first warning has weakened at this point, it looks like. Although the radar there is kind of sideways, so it's not going to have the best look at this. So still could have some strong gusty winds here, now just entering the Allendale Grand Valley area. But otherwise, the worst of it here on radar remains near the Dorr area. Train spotter in Zeeland reports wind gust of 57 miles per hour. So again, 57 miles per hour, that's pretty much right at severe limits. Severe limits is 58 or higher. So 57 is, we're there, but we're there basically. Power flickered here in Jenison, says Jackie. I'm not surprised by that at all. These winds are taking out power for localized areas within Allegan County, and also getting scattered outages now in Jenison, Hudsonville, Allendale areas as well. They're not widespread, they're localized, but still, nonetheless, that is taking out power still for some people. So we have numerous outages that are scattered all throughout the Allegan, Ottawa County area. I don't see anything in Kent County just yet. It's around the border there at Kent and Ottawa. Let's go ahead and get back here to the chat. Catch back up. Loud thunder in Allendale, close to Grand Valley State University. There's a lot of lightning out there. In fact, on your screen, you can see all the little white lightning bolts here from Zeeland all the way down here toward Wayland. That is all lightning. There is a ton of it out there. As you can see in the bottom left of your screen there in Holland, this camera faces west toward Lake Michigan. It is almost consistent lightning that is occurring here. So it's a loud evening for sure. Excuse me, for sure. This storm, if it continues to the north, let's go ahead and zoom out and pan to the north here. Change it over here to our current radar, animate this. We're going to see it's going to move pretty much due north here. These storms are, looks like they're organizing just a bit here in Muskegon County. Also got some storms over Lake Michigan that are pushing, again, to the north with a little bit of eastward movement there. Those should stay on water for quite some time. So right now, focus is going to be on this bulk of this blob, really, of storms. That was a bright one there. That's a bright flash. So this is going to move northward here into Montcalm, Newaygo, and Muskegon counties here in the next 30 to 60 minutes. What's up, Morningstar? Back for month number 12. Says, hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to the page. Appreciate your support. So recapping here, widespread severe weather is not expected. So we did kind of think that we could have one or two stronger storms today, but the severe threat should be pretty short-lived in nature. Some strong gusty winds will remain the main hazard here, as well as small hail. But otherwise, severe winds should be far and few between. So this shouldn't continue, so to speak, for a long period. This is moving straight to the north with a very slight eastward movement to it. So think north and just a tad bit east. Ashley, back for month number 17, says, thank you for all you do. Appreciate you, Ashley. Thank you for supporting the channel for month number 16 here. Are you going to go over tomorrow after severe is done tonight? I am not planning on it. I will have a YouTube video out tomorrow morning, first thing, that will talk about it. But yes, there is a risk for severe weather tomorrow for pretty much the entirety of the lower peninsula. Strong winds is your main hazard with that, small hail as well, similar to what's occurring right now. Latest couple of scans here on radar is good news. There's not much of any signature here like it was back down here toward Door. Like that's a good severe signature right here. Zooming in there, that's a pretty good severe signature. Kind of see how it's kind of spread out there and kind of weakened. That's a good sign. We're not seeing that burst of wind continue. So it's kind of spreading out there. So still strong winds are occurring here, but looks like the worst of it is at least over for now. And hopefully it stays over. Yeah, anything tornadic or hail-wise risk tonight is very low. I don't foresee that happening. We don't have much in the way of wind shear. We don't have a lot of instability. We don't have a lot of spin. Like there's a lot of lacking ingredients here. So hail, small hail is possible, like pea size, perhaps dime size, but severe hail, quarter size or larger, is unlikely. And currently, there's nothing here for rotation, and not expecting that to be the case tonight. So breathe easy. It's just some wind tonight. Regardless, though, wind can be damaging, so don't let your guard down just because it's just wind, because we still have damage and outages that can occur. So continue to take it seriously, as you should. But in terms of tornadic and large hail, it's just not on my radar tonight. Lots of lightning and Door. That is not surprising at all. There's a ton of it out there tonight. It's going to be a rainy night. If you guys go to sleep here soon in the area, you're likely going to fall asleep to some nice rumbles of thunder. It's nice sleeping weather. Of course, don't sleep if you're under a warning, but if you're not under a warning, you should go to bed and sleep easy. We are in Fenville with no power. Not surprised. I saw that. That was the first outage that popped up with this line. I called that out almost like 45 minutes ago, it seems like, I think it was. And they warned it shortly after that. So the bad news, it appears. Okay, not bad news. The radar was just old. So there we go. Okay, now that latest scan, there is a little bit more of bad news. Looks like the wind velocity is increasing now over Byron Center and North Byron. They have continued the warning for Ottawa County for 60-mile-per-hour winds. The bulk of that appears to be outside of the, or not outside, but bulk of it appears to be north of M45 currently, near Coopersville, down toward Allendale areas. Yeah, this should not be a very long-lived event. I don't expect to be live all night, so put that out there. Once these expire, I don't expect them to be reissued unless this one continues its trek. This is some pretty strong winds here. It's pretty close to the radar too. So we're looking at 50-ish mile per hour winds here via radar. And as you can see up here, this KGRR button is your radar site. So we're not too far away from the radar, which means the data we're getting is actually very close to the ground. Go ahead and check through our chasers here. I got a few people out there, but I don't believe anybody is live at the current moment. Anybody out there who is live currently? Nobody out there currently, although we do have Aaron who says he's going to connect with us here soon. So we're going to pop Aaron up in the corner. If he does happen to pop on, we're going to see his feed there in the top right. Wow, that lightning is intense. So here is your view in Holland currently, facing to the west, courtesy of Busher Septic Tank and Excavating. Sponsoring this camera here. This was a much needed camera over there on the west side of Michigan. One of our first actually on the west side. And it is coming in handy tonight, giving us views of some great lightning and also confirming that these winds are indeed very strong. So thank you to Busher's Septic Tank and Excavating for sponsoring this camera. We'll put that back down in the bottom left corner. We'll take back the radar here, and we'll go ahead and take a peek at the latest scan on your wind velocity. As you can see here, current scan is at 8:32 p.m. The worst of it, over Route 6 and US 131 North Byron, heading up toward Wyoming now. So Wyoming, you're on deck, Kentwood on deck. Zooming in here, it looks like Granville, US 131, Godwin Heights neighborhood, 36th Street, Birmingham Avenue. That general area is on deck for these strong winds. Let's take a zoomed in look here. You guys can't see this, but I can. I'm going to look on Consumers Energy outage map. There is no outages currently in Kent County that I see. There's actually one little blip that popped up just to the north of Granville. Like we're talking like right up here, this area. Otherwise, I don't see much of anything at the current moment on the outage map in Kent County. But again, scattered outages are being reported from Allegan up into Ottawa and now into what appears to be Muskegon County. Or actually not yet. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. So the county lines, okay, yeah, there's actually a few in Muskegon County near Ravenna. So we'll keep that in mind. So taking a peek back here where the storms are at, I know velocity can be a little bit deceiving here, but there's your current radar screen. Go ahead and let that sit and animate for you guys. It's moving pretty much due north with a little bit of an eastward movement to it. So places on deck, not currently severe: Casanova, Sparta, Ravenna, Wright areas, Ashland, and Bridgeton areas. Now, areas that are currently in a severe warning: Coopersville, Hudsonville, Marne, Talmadge, Wyoming, and East Paris, Kentwood areas. We got Aaron joining us in the top right of your screen. We have multiple trees down in hold on, I'm trying to confirm this. Drew, where are you at with those trees? Trying to confirm that, but in the meantime, I believe he's going to be somewhere in Allegan or Ottawa County. Drenth. Okay, so he is down here in the Drenth area. If I can find it again. I know it's down here somewhere, but he's in Drenth, which is near the Hudson or Holland, Zealand. There it is. There's Drenth. So he is reporting trees down just to the east of Zealand for point of reference for a larger city, just east of Zealand. You guys have damage, we have a group for you. If you don't want to message us directly, you can hop on Facebook and search Michigan Weather Reports. There'll be a group. You can go ahead and click that, join if you're not a member. Go ahead and make a post in there. We'll be keeping track of all of the damage reports we get from this evening. So feel free to pop in there. If you have tree damage, hail reports, flooding, stuff like that, that is storm related, feel free to drop it in the Michigan Weather Reports group. Looks like another report of wind coming in at 53 miles per hour in Holland. 53 miles per hour in Holland. New statement coming in. This is good news. So they're opting to forgo the warning now once this storm moves out of the warning box into now a special weather statement. So we'll wait till this pop on the screen here. Be a blue box here, likely going to be a pretty big one too. There it is. There it is. So they're going to opt for a statement now. Expires in 23 minutes. They're going wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. That includes places: Casanova, Cedar Springs, Sparta, Wright, Rockford, Plainfield, Charter Township, Englishville, Wilder Center, Walker, Conklin, Ravenna, up here toward the Canada Corners and Bailey areas. In effect, for 23 minutes, puts us at 9 p.m. Eastern for expiration time on that. So strong gusty winds will continue to the north. They're currently thinking that they are no longer severe in nature, which would technically line up here with our latest update from Consumers Energy outage map. The outages have sort of just kind of stopped down here between M45 and Coopersville. Anything north of here where the gust front is not really being reported at the current time. So that suggests either one, data is lagging, or number two, the wind is no longer producing strong enough gusts to take out power. All right, let's go ahead and zoom back out of here. All right, take a peek down here further south. Here we have some development happening down here in Cass County near Niles. We actually have a camera in the Niles area. Let's go ahead and pull that up if I can find it. We have so many cameras now that I'm gonna have to organize this into alphabetical order. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a hard time trying to find it. We have quite a few, which is not a bad thing per se, but hey, I mean, it's good to have multiple views. Hmm, there we go. Unfortunately, it looks like the light pollution there is crowding the camera with the raindrops on it, but we'll keep an eye on it regardless. Keep an eye on that storm as well. Back up here to the warnings. These warnings continue for a couple more minutes. The one in Kent County expires in 5 minutes. The one in Ottawa County also expires in 5 minutes. 60-mile-per-hour winds is your hazard with these storms. Latest velocity scan. Good news here has weakened considerably based on latest data. So that appears to be either, I can't say completely has weakened because again the radar here is kind of sideways, so it's not getting the best angle on it. So we'll wait a few minutes here just to confirm, but looks like the latest couple of scans has definitely weakened this storm considerably. In chat, you guys, anybody here watching from like Grand Rapids, Wyoming, Coopersville areas, you guys can tell me what's going on outside your house currently. If you do so safely, that'd be great. Be a good idea here to get some ground truth going on. These warnings will expire in 5 minutes. We'll see if they reissue anything, but current thinking is no because they went ahead and issued a statement instead. Will Battle Creek see anything tonight? So the answer is right now, no. Perhaps a little bit later on, we have more pop-ups that do take place, potentially later, but for right now, no. Battle Creek is completely in the clear. Whipping pretty good. I missed the comment there. Whipping pretty good in west side of GR. Thank you for that report. That would make sense in terms of location. Heavy rain in Wyoming, getting windy, tons of rain, wind south of GR. Do you guys think it's severe wind? Do you guys think it's just your occasional strong gust? What are we thinking here? Thank you, Julie, for that super chat. Off topic, but I'll shout out here really quick. If you want to see some of the MSC staff skydive, we're going to send Caleb and Andrew out of a plane soon, but we have a post on our page. It's pinned. If it gets 25,000 reactions, we're going to send Chandler, we're going to send Alex, as well as our chasers, Annie and Ben, out of a plane. So feel free to hit that pin post, react to it if you want to see that happen here in the near future. Got tree branches down in... Chris, where are you at, Chris? Byron Center, lots of wind. Thank you for that report. High winds and heavy rain in Conklin. Thank you for that report. There are no tornadoes tonight. Of course, we never want to say they're impossible to happen, but currently there's nothing rotating on radar. The atmosphere, the environment is not favorable at all for it. We need several things to come together. We have half of one, really. So it's very unlikely we're going to see anything tornadic or large hail wise with these storms. The best news I can give you right now is everything severe wise appears to be weakened. So that's good news. I'm a bit more relaxed now. The wind there was definitely at severe limits for about 20 minutes or so, at least. And now that appears to have weakened. So we can breathe now for a little bit. Although you guys here in chat says there's a lot of wind still. So statements in effect for up to 50-mile-per-hour winds for northwestern Kent, as well as eastern Muskegon and northeastern Ottawa counties. That expires at 9 o'clock. The warnings are set to expire here in about a minute, less than a minute actually. And as we zoom out here, we can see the radar here across West Michigan is pretty clear for a lot of places if you're not in the Grand Rapids vicinity, or if you're not down here in Allegan or Van Buren or Cass counties. East side, completely clear. There is currently nothing on radar, so sleep easy there. And then northern lower, nothing on radar there besides this shower over by Manistee and Ludington areas. UP is currently clear for 90% of the UP, minus this little pocket of showers over by Newberry and Manistee areas, as well as back here toward the Felch area. All right, these warnings will expire here in a matter of seconds. In fact, this should be expiring any time. The warning bar there continues to say warning, but technically expired at 8:45. So that is no longer in effect. There it goes. Man, the east side of the state is clear. We got stars out over here on the east side of the state. Up there in the Bayport, the Thumb region, courtesy of the Bayport Fish Company, looking over Lake Huron. You got some stars out there. It's clear. That's crazy. Over on the west side, it's just mayhem with a lot of lightning. All right, we can relax for a second. Warnings have expired. Statements are now in effect for up to 50-mile-per-hour winds. So 50-mile-per-hour winds can still take down small branches. It can relocate your trash can efficiently down the road, so take that into consideration. But in terms of structural damage or major tree damage, stuff like that, 50 mile per hour is kind of a threshold step below severe, so we can breathe a little bit. A lot of lightning out there, that is for sure. There is a lot of lightning, regardless of severe warnings or not. Lightning does not make a storm severe, but there is a lot of it out there, so also take into consideration, best to stay indoors regardless if it is severe or not, just because of that lightning. All trash cans are gone, says Trisha. That is not good. You better go. Wait till it dies down, then go look for them. Very windy in Kentwood, says Garrett. Wind picking up in Plainfield, says Lisa. GR is huge thunder. Anywhere in yellowish red, this blob of yellow and red across Kent County, Ottawa, Muskegon, and Durango counties, you're going to have a lot of lightning and a lot of thunder. So we're going to have Ben hop in here. I'm not sure I'll have his sound, but he is at the fair in St. Joseph County. We have a booth there. This is our last day at the fair, excuse me. So if you happen to be at the fair or close by, feel free to pop over and say hi to Ben. Although I believe things are winding down there, so if you're gonna go now. If he's still, I believe he's still there. So go say hi to Ben. He's selling some merch as well. Nothing in the state of Michigan currently is severe. I'll make that clear. There is nothing currently in the state that is severe. Just some strong gusty winds pushing in Kent, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties at this current moment. Looks like most of the lightning has also kind of died down with the latest, the cameras there in the bottom left of your screen. So that's good. We got Ben popping in. Go ahead and take Aaron off the screen here. We're going to go ahead and take Ben full. Maybe not. You got the dancing cat there. That is his signature. If you guys have followed Ben at all, that is his signature cat. So if you lose a signal, it'll divert to that scene, which is kind of funny. I like it. Leave him up there. If he comes live, we'll go ahead and take him full. The good news, though, is we're getting rain. We need some rain on this side of the state, so we are getting much needed rain. Ben, I got your dancing cat screen right now. So new for 2026 and the rest of this year, we have rapid radios. They're walkie-talkies. I went ahead and sponsored us because we need communications so we can reach each other. I can talk to Ben. I'm on the east side of Michigan. He's on the west side of Michigan. We can talk to each other via walkie-talkie with these rapid radios, which is pretty darn cool. We have Ben on screen currently. Unfortunately, Ben, I don't have your sound, but I do have your screen. Go ahead and take him full. Ben, you are now full screen, but we can't hear you. He is at St. Joseph County Fair at the current moment. I'll refresh him just to make sure it's not on my end, but we've been having some audio issues, unfortunately. We'll get it fixed here over the off season and head into next year with some good audio. From my understanding, they actually had to shut the fair down for a few minutes as the storm passed over them earlier this evening. But yeah, we got our own booth set up there. Chandler was there for a while this week. Andrew as well. Ben. Ferris wheel there. That's pretty. We could use the rain. Yes, we certainly could. Well, we were live for severe. Those warnings have since been dropped, so now we're kind of hanging out here. And you can see here at the St. Joe County Fair, we got Ben showing off our merch and our booth there. So feel free to stop in if you are local to St. Joseph County. This is in Centerville, to be exact. Yeah, there's a lot of thunder out there, guys. I've seen so many comments from you guys. It's booming out there. It's really loud. It's bright, and that is correct. There's a lot of it out there tonight. I will say the latest couple of scans on radar look to have really decreased the overall lightning output. So, and even on the cameras that we were kind of watching there for a while, there's not many cameras lighting up anymore with lightning. Anyway, we got hats.
My audio should be working.
Yeah, it's on my end, not yours. But yeah, we got plenty of merch options from our logos, different color logos, hoodies, hats. We got the whole nine there for you. I bought MSC merch already. Well, thank you, Void Shark. Appreciate that. Several wind gust reports previously coming in. 51 Ottawa County, 50 in Grand Valley. So it continues to kind of show off that there was some stronger winds there with that storm. I believe was he watching us? Was he watching the stream? He is. That is crazy. Ben, I can't hear you, unfortunately. And we lost him. But he's at St. Joe County Fair in Centerville. Feel free to stop in if you have some free time tonight. We'll be there for about, I don't even know when it closes, honestly. But we will not be there tomorrow, as far as I am aware. We will not be there tomorrow. And we back on radar. We were live for some severe storms that have since expired. There's a statement in effect for the Grand Rapids area up toward Rockford, Casanova area. The wind with this storm appears to have weakened considerably. We got a couple pockets up here with some brighter reds indicating some stronger winds by Sparta and up toward Ashland, but these are not currently looking like they are severe here on radar. So with that,
I'm going to bring my camera back up. I'm going to walk around the fair for a minute.
All right, copy that. So we'll keep an eye on the radar here for a little while. In the meantime, though, we're just kind of hanging out, relaxing. We're going to keep the live rolling for a few more minutes, just in case these storms do reintensify. I would hate to stop the stream and have to hop back on 15 minutes later. So we're going to stay live here. We've got Ben at the fair, so might as well just hang out for a little bit. If you guys got questions, we're going to pop them in chat. I'll go ahead and look at chat here while Ben is pulled up full. Colby says, I can hear the wind making my house creak. Where are you at, Colby? Out of curiosity. That is a very, very pretty Ferris wheel. Very heavy rain, strong winds right now in Sparta. Thunder is shaking the house. I'll take a nickel for any time I've read that comment tonight. Thunder is booming or shaking the house or something similar to that. Yeah, it's crazy out there. But good news is nothing is currently severe. Shaking the house in Ravenna. House is rocking on Northeast Grand Rapids. Again, if you're just tuning in here, we were live for some severe weather in Kent, Ottawa, and Allegan counties. Those warnings have expired as of 8:45 p.m. We're closing it at 9 o'clock. The statement's going to expire here soon at 9. They may extend it, they may not extend it. We'll see. If they do extend it, it'll be for Newaygo, perhaps areas like Montcalm as well, or parts of Montcalm County. So right now we got Ben, one of our chasers, currently repping MSC at the St. Joe County Fair. That is on your screen currently. He's at a booth there we have set up. We're just kind of walking around the fair now. Good crowd there too. It is, Brooke. Trailers are notoriously loud during windstorms and severe weather, so you are much safer in an apartment complex. Apartment complexes are a lot safer than you may think. They're usually, not every single one, but usually they're pretty well built.
It's one of the largest fairs in the state of Michigan.
If you didn't hear that, Ben said it's one of the largest fairs in the state of Michigan. I did not know that. All right, they're going to go ahead and extend the statement now, which is still good news. We're not going severe again, at least not yet or not this time. They're going to go even better news. They're going wind up to 40 mile per hour now. So winds up to 40 miles per hour is now the going hazard. We're going to go ahead and switch back. Sorry, Ben, if you can hear me if you're watching this. I'm going to switch off you for a second. Put you up in the top right. And the wind is actually blowing there. But I'm going to take back the radar here. This blue box flashing on your screen, that is your new statement. So they're going to go 40 mile per hour winds. That is it. No hail, nothing else. It says gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Places include Newaygo, Howard City, Croton, Ashland, Bridgeton, and Fremont, as well as Sand Lake and Cedar Spring, Kent City, Casanova areas. That expires in 32 minutes. That means 9:30 p.m. is your official expiration time. Good news there. Check out velocity before we head back to Ben. It is getting a little bit more brighter there, so I'm going to keep a close eye on that. That's why we didn't go off air just yet. But right now, still looking below severe limits. We're looking 35 to 40-ish mile per hour winds here. So nothing too crazy right now, at least. So let's hope it stays that way. And take this back on radar, and we'll go ahead and take back Ben here, who is at the fair. If I can find his button there, there he is. I got it now. Brandon says, I am at Centerville Fair right now. Go say hi to Ben. Go say hi. Can we get a fan on stream? Can we get a viewer on stream? You can find Ben. That'd be kind of crazy. St. Joseph County. Yep, St. Joseph County in the town of Centerville is where the fair is currently at. So if this continues to trend not severe, we'll probably pop out of here. We'll say between 9:05 and 9:10 or so. We'll hop off and hopefully be done for the night. What do you mean by that, Jace? Are you out of power, or what do you mean by that? Yeah, a lot of scattered outages coming in. We have about 4,000 people out of power across the 3 or 4 counties that were affected by these storms. There's our booth. Come out and get some merch. All right. He has lost signal there. We're going to take back my full screen. We'll put Ben back up there in the top right.
Finish now. I think that's it.
Thank you for popping on. All right. So currently, we were live until about 8:45 for some severe storms. Current time now is 9:01. They just let the first statement expire for 50-mile-per-hour winds, reissued it now for 40, so it continues to trend down, which is really good news. That statement's in effect for extreme western Montcalm County, northwestern Kent, we're going to say eastern Muskegon, and southern Newaygo counties until 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Ben is the cat guy there, so he is going to have that bouncing cat as a screensaver when he is not connected. I like it. Personally, I like it. I think it's unique. So Rockford has strong winds. How strong would you estimate? Well, we have a second. Go ahead and take myself off screen. Go ahead and toggle this back on here to radar, animate that for you guys. Take a little bit of a zoomed out look. Winds are pretty strong in Cedar as well. Feel severe warning shouldn't have expired, raining sideways in Grand Rapids. Well, the good news, though, is no new outages are popping in on the maps, so that's at least some good news. So that tells me most, if not all, the severe winds are done. However, it doesn't take severe winds to cause sideways rain and make it sound like it's really strong outside. So for those in the chat asking, we do have radios now. Joel and I, as your hosts on stream here, we have connection to our chasers now via walkie-talkie. This is called rapid radio, and I can reach Ben, for example, just talking to him a few minutes ago, over in St. Joseph County, and I'm all the way over here in Lenawee County. These can reach anywhere across the U.S. They're walkie-talkies, so they are pretty darn cool, and they help keep operations and help us connect together for our chasers in the field. It's very vital to communications and our safety. So really appreciate Rapid Radios for stepping up and being our communication sponsor here at MSC. It was a much needed gap that has been filled. Yep, so no severe weather is anticipated tonight. We did have 2 warnings that got issued for some strong winds. We may see another, very low chance, not impossible, but I don't expect it to happen. These storms, with the heat of the day, should be weakening. Rain and some storms will continue, but the strength of them should be on the decline as we push toward the later evening hours. Let's take a peek down here back in Cass County. We did have some storms popping up down there earlier. We got a couple areas here near Dowagiac, all the way up here toward Lawrence and Keeler areas, Heavy rain, some lightning with those, but otherwise that is generally it. Hello from Jennison, says Kaylee. Good evening. Are we going to do a briefing for tomorrow? So not at this time. I'm going to have a YouTube video out first thing tomorrow morning about it. So stay tuned for that if you're on YouTube. In the event that we think that it may be numerous severe storms, I may go live tomorrow morning to discuss it. Otherwise, it'll be just a YouTube video with a little bit of breakdown of timing, what to expect, etc. But there is a severe risk for tomorrow. Yes, it is a marginal in place. So go ahead and overlay that on the screen for you guys if you guys didn't know. I posted it this morning for you guys, but let me just go ahead and overlay this again. They changed our software here. They updated the layout here, so I gotta get used to it. There we go. Day 2, there we go. Anywhere in the dark green colored area is a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk. So pretty much all of the LP, except we're going to say Muskegon northward, Rogers City northward. So light green, thunderstorms possible. Dark green, storms possible. Some of those could be on the strong, if not severe side of things. Wind is your primary hazard. Not seeing anything tornadic. May see a few instances of some larger hail, but that is not a very high concern at the current moment. So it should just be wind similar to what happened tonight in the Grand Rapids area, perhaps more of a scattered to widespread basis. This on your screen currently is Radar Omega. That is the software I use. I also use something called Gibson Ridge 2. That's more advanced software. But when I'm broadcasting to you guys, I like the format and the layout and the look of this. It's a lot easier to read the cities. And it's just overall more sleek and more professional looking, in my opinion. But GR2 is still a really good product, and we can dive really deep that, Omega can't do that. So we use multiple. I use Radar Scope as well. If I'm chasing, I use Radar Scope. That's the only app I use. I don't use Omega. I don't use GR2. I just use Radar Scope. These are moving to the north at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. And there is definitely a weakening trend noting here. So checking velocity one more time. There are some pockets there, perhaps of some stronger areas of wind, but everything looks to be below severe limits at this current time. Another good sign is that our heaviest of winds does not line up with the strongest of reflectivity. So that typically means that the storm is weakening and is likely outflow dominant or is not going to hang out too much longer. So that's good news. So I think we're safe to pop out of here. Chances for tornadoes both tonight and tomorrow is extremely low. We have to have several things come together for that to happen. And tonight, we don't really have much of any of those coming together at all. And tomorrow, there's just not much there either. We have to get something to happen, like a cell merger or a boundary of some sort for a storm to attach onto. It takes a lot. So right now, not really thinking it's going to be a threat. Should just be a wind threat for tomorrow. One of our chasers in chat here, we got Evan saying, personally, I prefer WeatherWise. Yeah, WeatherWise is up and coming. I believe it's an app, and both an app and software. I've seen a lot of good things about it, but I personally have not used that. But hey, works for Evan. Pretty intense in Walker. Show Sparta, Cedar Springs. That is actually on your screen currently, right over here. You're on the edge of some heavier rain there off to your west. The wind on velocity is 40 to 50-ish. So we're not close, or not at severe limits just yet. And this shouldn't, I hope I'm not jinxing it. It should not go severe. A mixture of both normal thunderstorms and some stronger are definitely possible. No, this should not be a long night. We currently do not expect anything else to go severe at this current time. Tomorrow there's another chance during the afternoon, evening hours, but that is a 16 hours out problem, not a tonight problem. Power out in Allegan. Sorry, Miranda. You are one of close to 5,000 people in Allegan, Ottawa, Kent, and Muskegon counties that is without power from these storms. To clarify, what I mean by that is customers. I say 4,000 people, but technically it's customers. Some of those actually could be multiple, like households could have like 4 people or 6 people or 2 people. So there's likely several thousand people out of power at the current moment. Yeah, no, nothing tonight is expected to go severe again. That includes anything tornadic. So no, the answer would be no there. Yes, tomorrow there is actually a risk per the SPC for severe weather for much of lower Michigan. If you live north of Muskegon up to Rogers City and north of that line, you guys are at a general thunderstorm risk. South of that line, there is a low end risk for some damaging winds with any cell that pops up. All right, go ahead and take Ben off the screen. We're going to wrap things up here, guys. Before we wrap up, I want to give some shout outs to our sponsors who keep operations rolling here at MSC. Once I get done with these shout outs, we'll go ahead and hop out of here, take one last look at the radar just to make sure. There is a few areas, again, some perhaps stronger winds, but otherwise these should remain below severe limits as they currently are. All right, with that said, we are going to switch this over here to reflectivity, animate it, and start with our sponsor shoutouts. First and foremost, we have StormGuard, roofing and construction based in Eastern Michigan. Lifestyle Exteriors in Lansing. We got Katz Roofing and Siding in the Lansing area as well, Potterville to be exact. Mike Hayes, Roofing and Siding up in the Thumb. McKay Tree Specialist over in Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan. If you guys had any tree damage tonight in the Grand Rapids, Allegan area, feel free to contact Kuiper. They are your tree sponsor to take care of you if you guys need help with anything that fell with tonight's storms. FBI Buildings across much of Michigan. On Top Roofing based in Livingston County. We got Shield Public Adjusters for any insurance help or adjusting needs. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for any commercial roofing or building solution needs across Michigan. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors across West Michigan. If you guys had any structural damage with these storms, Top Gun would be your contact for the area. A-Class Construction Restoration based in Mason County. Rapid Radios, our communication sponsor. We use those tonight. We're going to be using those pretty much every time we're live now. We have Guardian Technologies, our Skycam sponsor. We have American Arbor down there in Southwest Michigan. Apex Restoration over in Grand Blanc. And last but not least, the Ronald McDonald House of Michigan. Thank you to all of these sponsors for keeping operations rolling. We could not do it without them. They're here to help us. And they're also here to help you guys in the event that you have damage or need their services after storms or just in general. So with that said, I am going to roll the outro now and cross my fingers that nothing else goes wrong tonight. It shouldn't, not expected, but weirder things have happened. So if that does happen, I'll be back on here live. But in the meantime, you guys enjoy your evening. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a brief or for a video, perhaps a briefing and maybe more coverage of severe weather here in Michigan, as we do have a threat tomorrow for some severe storms. You guys enjoy your evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow.